Are you constantly trying to find the next answers? Are you constantly trying to figure out if you're on the right path in life? Are you constantly looking at other people and trying to find a way to feel fulfilled and checking on YouTube and other content to find the next new thing you can hop on or find the answers that will finally make you feel like you are exactly at the right place and you are good wherever you are? Then I think this video might be for you. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Lynn, and in this channel, I talk a lot about things, spirituality, and like our understanding of the world, but at the same time, talking about the importance of finding a good balance in our internal and external perception and understanding of the world, and also understanding that at the end of the day, we do not know as much as we would like to believe we do, and it's very important to stay critical about everything we see, not only in our waking life, but also on social media. So welcome to my channel if you're new. Really hope you're doing good today. It's September month. This is my favorite month of the year. For the second year already, I really like September. I love the colors. It's rainbow season. I've been seeing rainbows so many times, so I really like that a lot. But I won't bore you. Today, I want to talk about the importance of recognizing that sometimes seeking for that one truth, or sometimes constantly trying to find the answers to your problems, seeking for answers and understanding when you feel a lot of restlessness and confusion internally in your life can sometimes be a never-ending rat race. It can get us stuck in a wheel where we constantly feel like the truth is taken away from us. The truth is the one thing that we are seeking for that can give us enlightenment, that is keeping us stuck in the darkness. It's all about finding that light. And sometimes seeking that light can be even more depressing and even more confusing and bring us in a place where we can give up on life, on our beliefs. We can get very frustrated. We start to question even everything even more. And it can just be such a difficult place to be in life. That said, I do believe that every season has its reason. So if you are in this place right now, I want to tell you, please trust that whatever you are going through is exactly what you're supposed to go through. You are learning so much in the darkness. I've realized for myself that every time that I'm going through difficult phases where it's like the ground beneath me has vanished and I'm just free falling into the darkness and into a limited depth of the universe, I just get so confused and I start to rethink and re-question my entire life and my entire belief system. And this can be so confusing because everything you thought was true yesterday can no longer apply today and even tomorrow. And this can be a very difficult place to go through. Constantly looking for the new truth, what is good, what is bad, trying to find something to hold on to feel like you're safe, to feel like you're good enough, and to feel like you are doing the right thing wherever you are in life right now. Those phases can be so scary and can feel like God has left you, like you do not know which direction to go and that you've been abandoned. I have noticed always in hindsight that these are the phases that such critical changes are happening, that I have to learn to apply the things that I've already learned in the past season. And this is really where elevation happens and where the things that you've learned that you really have to put them into action. So even though right now, if you're going through this, I know this is such a weird phase, I also want you to know that you're not alone in this and you're not crazy and there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm telling you right now, because I've been in this place so many times and I also got out of it, but I know that this is a reoccurring thing. This is not going to last forever. But what I have also noticed is that the more we try to seek a way out of this place, the more we try to run away from this unknowingness, from this darkness, from just the uncertainty of the place that we are at right now, the more it's going to be heavy, the more it's going to be a hard time to get through, and the more we're going to feel frustrated and less motivated, and we're going to have less grace and patience with ourselves, and maybe look more to the negative side of the events and the place that you are in right now, instead of focusing your gaze onto what the positive things might be in this place. And I want to say that this is also a process. You can be in this place right now, and if you're still very hard on yourself, that's okay. This is also a learning curve. And best believe this place might come back in some other time, but in a different way. I feel like life always presents us with the same cycles, but we always learn different layers of reality and of ourselves simultaneously. And allowing life to unfold and allowing ourselves to be in just the mess that life can be a lot of the times, it's going to get much easier over time when we learn to just be patient and accept whatever place we are in. And sometimes also accepting the fact that uncertainty and chaos is going to be part of the forever reality that is life. It doesn't always have to be what your life looks like, but I'm going to tell you exactly how you can ride along with the chaos in a way that every time it comes back, you do not necessarily go left and right and get completely shaken up by the waves and the storms. Because one thing I've learned is that storms are going to be here forever. If you're watching videos that are telling you that you're going into a place where everything is going to be perfect, life is never going to have its downs again. You're never going to have failure or heartache or all the negative things that we try to get away from. If people are telling you that by healing yourself, you are never going to encounter those things anymore, I would be wary of your interpretation of that communication or their transfer of what they mean with that. Accepting things in your outside reality to change in order to make you feel comfortable, in order to gain your level of peace that you are looking for, to me is just a very unrealistic thing, and I had to learn the hard way. I was constantly butting heads with my outside reality and talking to God and asking, when am I getting what you promised me? Like, why am I constantly being tested? Why do I feel like every single time that I learn something, that I prove myself to do the right thing, I still do not get the rewards that I was expecting? My life is not actually getting better. And at some point, it can be so frustrating. And I think that was one of the darkest places to be in, especially when you feel like you have been following the path that God wants for you, that life that you know is the best that you can do, and that people tell you if you do this, you will get the greatest future for yourself. But every time you do that, it doesn't seem to manifest itself the way like that. And I've had to realize that a lot of the time it was because I was expecting the things outside of me to change. But nothing outside of me can change. My reality will never change unless I am the factor initiating the change internally. I feel like our outside reality is really a reflection of whatever happens internally. I've been thinking about this, about a theory of different dimension and parallel universes. And I've been really thinking like, actually, they kind of coexist in the same places. We could be 5 different people with all different lives, and we could be all in the same room, but we're all living in a complete different dimension or paradigm of reality. It's all based on how I experience my life, the belief systems that I have, and the way that I understand the world, process my surroundings, can really change my perception and understanding of the world. Therefore, I can live in a complete different world than the person standing next to me. And it's not that the physical world is differently, it's just that we radiate a certain energy, that we have this kind of inner standing, which is going to reflect and attract the things in the physical reality that align with our understanding of the world. I do not know where that came from. That was a complete rant. So that means I'm actually completely in the flow. And I really, really, really like that. I feel like the next couple of months and years are going to be very interesting on social media and on the internet. I feel like a lot of people have been going through a spiritual awakening over the past years, but I feel like it's still in movement. I feel like everything happens in waves, and I feel like we're going on to the next wave of spiritual awakening. I think it was still pretty taboo. If you've been in like the spiritual community for like over 10 plus years, I think you would have probably be seen as crazy to even talk about those things. It's probably something you never share with the people around you, or if you did, people never took you seriously or think that you're a little cuckoo. And I feel like now it's getting more mainstream, but we also see the negative sides of it. I really have an issue, and I've talked about this in some several videos. I really have an issue with spiritual content on short form platforms like TikTok, because putting that out, I got my bachelor's degree in communication studies, and the way the medium, if you learn about communication, the medium and the format of content has a very big influence on our way of processing information and also on our consciousness. And I found that just very interesting about the effects that it has on us. Our understanding is going to completely change based on the way the communication is received and even transferred, communicated, especially on TikTok or just reels, things, very short form content where you cannot really go in depth, and where there's a lack of context, there's a lack of deeper understanding, and there's a lack of time and energy, like resonance with people. This is something that I could go very deep into. But basically, what we are seeing today is that a lot of people are putting out their truths, are talking about things that they are noticing, are talking about different kind of belief systems, different kind of ideas, and sharing it in mass. There has never been a time that there has been so much information circulating this fast over time and space, so limitless that so many people can actually understand and even translate. Even English has been so widespread over the past years just because of the rising of the internet. So this is such an interesting phenomena, but it has a lot of consequences for people sometimes who are seeking for the truth, and especially people that might be in a place where they do not know what the truth is, and they are looking for answers. They are looking for a truth. They are looking for guidance and something to hold on to in a world that seems so chaotic and where everything seems true but false at the same time. We don't know what to believe anymore. The beauty about this information time, and when I was studying history, it makes me think about the time where we had book press for the first time. I think it was in the 1400s, 1500s. It was a very important time because it was also the globalization, and we had imperialism. There was a lot of religious wars after the start of the printing, because there was no longer the one truth that was provided by the state or by the church. Now people had the ability to share their own truths, to write their own stories, to learn to read different stories that otherwise they wouldn't have been told. So it created this field of information and of stories that started to circulate, but stories that were sometimes going against the main story history, the things that people were taught and things that are taught as common sense. And all of a sudden, when people are able to share their own personal experiences, their own personal truths that sometimes contradict the common truth that we are told from a young age, it starts to create a lot of confusion and chaos, and it pushes people to be more critical and to find and seek their own truth. And I feel like we are going through that kind of same process right now, but with digital media and on a much broader scale. So we had the age of enlightenment back then, and I really feel like we are entering a new age of enlightenment through the media and technology that provide us the new ability to share a higher form and a bigger scale of information. But before enlightenment, sometimes there must come way more darkness. And I feel if we look at the history of mankind, it's kind of like a history of war on truths. If it comes to religion, if it comes to politics, it's always people trying to say that their truth is the one that counts, their truth that it's the one that should rule over all nations, over all people, and is the right thing. But one thing that always comes up and will forever come up, and it's also something that I try to not only apply when I look at humanity as a whole, but if I look at my own personal life as well, my own personal day-to-day understanding of the world, is the understanding that change is a constant. A truth today might not be a truth tomorrow. A truth 20 years ago will absolutely not be a truth in 40 years. If we can let go of the constant need to have this full truth and to hold on to a certain insight, to feel like we're on the right path, to feel like what we're doing is right, it is kind of also freeing us from a fear of making mistakes, because mistakes are to be made. Mistakes also allow us to learn, allow us to grow, and allow us to understand other different people better, to have more compassion, to have more empathy. If people would not make mistakes and if we would all be perfect, I don't think there would be any room for empathy, compassion, and love would not go as deep as it goes if you have to learn to love somebody through their shadow as well. So if you are constantly seeking for the truth to know which way to go, it can just be very paralyzing, because what you might hold on to today, what might resonate today, might actually bring you into your own doom the next day. This is also something that I've had to learn, is that it's okay to have your own truth. And I also talk about feelings a lot. Feelings are a truth, a momentary truth, a reaction to circumstances, to a certain time and a space, but they do not have to linger on. And that's why we also practice going through our emotions, accepting our emotions and letting go, and not staying stagnant or running away from emotions, because then we are holding on to a certain truth, holding on to a certain version of ourselves, holding on to a certain understanding of our environment based to those triggers that happened at the same moment those emotions came up, which might actually block us from going into the next understanding of the world, the next elevation of ourself, of our soul, of our mind, and to experience new emotions. So this really can show us that a truth, an emotion, is something that can be true at one moment, but it isn't beneficial to hold on to that for the rest of life, because we're actually blocking new experiences. We're blocking the very full experience of so many other understandings, emotions, visions, perspective that the world still has to offer. And I feel that for me, that's also the beauty of life, is being able to let go of everything that I already know and still every day rediscover the world with fresh new eyes and with like a childlike wonder, and always know that there's so much more to learn and so much more to see in different ways that there were yesterday. And that makes life so beautiful and so good to live. And it also makes me appreciate every little encounter and every little thing a bit more. And it also learns patience. So it is very good to be self-aware, and it's very respectable. And I really appreciate when, and I support people that are willing to dive deeper, follow the right rabbit, and go after their inclinations of curiosity, and just go for it and look for the truths. But the self-awareness can also serve as a block and can paralyze us from actually living, fully living, letting go of whatever is right and wrong, and fully going through it and allowing ourselves to fully immerse and let go and surrender to the experience of life. And sometimes I have to tell myself, like, you have the right intentions, your heart is in the right space, so stop trying to constantly look for what is true and what isn't, just out of fear of doing something wrong. You will do things wrong, period. Let go, accept yourself, and learn to love yourself as you are, even when you make mistakes. Easier said than done. I know it is. But the need for constant answers, the need to look for constant solutions needs to be balanced out with also the knowing that there aren't always answers. There aren't always going to be solutions. Sometimes we're going to have to surrender and accept that the truth is not to be revealed, or maybe it is in our best interest that we do not know certain things, because whatever place we are in, we're here for a reason, and it's serving us in ways that we might not understand today, but might reveal itself over time, or might not at all. Life is not only about us. Sometimes we are just pawns in another person's story. We are being used in ways that we cannot comprehend. Maybe you are a trigger to somebody else's spiritual awakening. All you have to do is live your life, be yourself, Trust yourself and know that God is in control of the story. He's not only writing your story, but He's writing the story of every single person of this planet. I would not want to be responsible for that. I'm assuring you right now that I would mess it up. Sometimes things will be so confusing and we will try to figure out the truth. We will try to find answers. It will be frustrating. We will butt heads. We will stay paralyzed in a certain place in our life, hold on to those emotions, and we will not get out because there is no way to get out. The only way sometimes to get out when we are seeking for truth is letting go and accepting that sometimes there might not only be one truth that can set you free. Sometimes there's different sides to every story, more than two, more than three, and God knows what He's doing. But this also requires surrender. It also requires trust in a higher power. Trust that whatever you are going through, it is bringing you to a place that is good for you, that is meant for you, that is in your highest good, and that is preparing you to be the person that you are supposed to be, the person that is going to get to the places that they have been dreaming about since a little kid. That is sometimes what you really have to focus on. Let go of seeking the truth and allowing God to speak in the moment and embrace you in the unknown. That brings a lot of peace and allows you to just enjoy what you have right now. Refocus on all the things that are good, doing good. There will always be things in life that do not make sense, that will make us feel confused, that will give us anxiety, that will make us feel like we're not good enough or that we could get better. That's true. But focusing on those things are not really beneficial. They're not really doing anything for us. They just keep us stuck in a certain understanding in the world, which will also reflect itself back to us. And we will be shown a certain reality that will make us just more frustrated, more confused. So focus on what is going good and shine and radiate that energy into the universe, into your outside reality. And best believe in due time, when you will no longer care, maybe the truth will reveal itself to you. And then it will no longer matter. I was kind of sick of being blind right there. Okay, I'm just going to keep my glasses on. So that was a little message for today. I truly hope that helped, but we aren't done. I want to bring a new segment into the videos at the end of the video. I want to talk more about different emotions. And I've received this as a birthday gift from one of my best friends, Mara. I think already almost 3 years ago already. It's called the emotion box. And I want to use these emotions and we're going to pull a card at the end of the videos and like get to know different emotions a little better. The cards are in Dutch, so I'm going to do my best to translate. It's 80 different cards with beautiful illustrations, and I have just learned so many new emotions through this deck, so I find this really, really interesting, and you can pull them out. So I'm going to show you just a little bit how it works. So you have different categories. So we have ego, we have chance, kans, it means chance. We have pleasure, we have bliss, we have zen, we have heartache, we have angst or life's angst, but I think angst is the right translation. We have aversion. I like that the colors just match really well. We have resentment. We have warmth. And that's it. Today I'm going to go for bliss. And so we have 5 cards to pick a vibe from. So you can just look at whatever emotions. You look at the artwork and then you choose like a vibe. Which one are we choosing? Which one am I feeling? For whoever is chosen, I chose this one. I'm going to find out what it says. Oh, that's cute. It says love. I'm going to talk about love. I'm going to translate as I read, right? We can be lyrical about love, but a lot of the times it also makes us not unable to speak a word about love. One of the best examples of that is one of the poets, Sappho, who around the 6th century before Christ lived. Sorry, the sentences. She sees her loved one and feels paralyzed. The troubadours from the 11th and 12th century sang about unattainable loves. Sometimes their love was best expressed through worthless breaths, a yawn, or a sigh, their expression and proof of a long devotion. These different types of silence are still ways of expressing our love. It's in a touch of a hand or the way we make eye contact. It's in the word love itself that has many different meanings. It can be the same emotion that we can express when we talk about lovers, very close friends, gods, partners, our parents, pets. We just have this one word. It's very blurry, it's very vague, and it can be wrongfully understood. So we just pull up our shoulders. It's just, love. The card I pulled up is love. I like love. I feel a lot of love when I'm able to let go and to trust. And I feel like when you let go of the truth, of needing to find the truth, needing to understand what is going on or where you are, you just come back to the knowing that you are loved wherever you are, that even in the dark places, you are good enough. And the card is also talking about that love is often expressed in silence. I feel like this also happens with the moments where we don't find truth, when we are confused, when life is not making sense. This is a place for you to practice more self-love and to reach out to God's love, to reach out to the knowing that He is there, that she is there, that they are there, and also bring back that love to you. Give yourself whatever you need. Sometimes the only truth that you need is that you are loved, no matter where you are, no matter how you feel. And when you come back to that, it always makes everything just feel wholesome again. And the deepest feelings of love are often expressed in silence. I'm so happy. So that was our very first card, love. I'm very happy I chose this one, and I'm very curious to get to know other emotions in the future. That was today's video. I really hope it resonates, and I really hope you got something from it. If you needed to, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want some more of this. Stay critical. Do not believe everything you see. Make your own opinions, and know that at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter what you think, who you are, or where you're going. You are loved, and your light is very much needed in this world. So be yourself and enjoy the ride. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.